Sooner or later, every business runs into a problem they just can't solve on their own. And the big question is, how do you find the right expert to help you out? Well, today we're going to walk through questions to ask when hiring a consultant. A guide from Stephen Wood, a consultant with over 20 years of experience at his firm, Roaring Success Proprietary Limited. Think of this as your roadmap to making a really smart, safe choice. And this, right here, is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Hiring a consultant to solve a tricky problem, well, that turns out to be a tricky problem all on its own. You're not just buying a service, you're letting someone into the very heart of your business. And that means the first, and honestly the biggest hurdle to clear, is always trust. You know that one big question, who to trust, it just explodes into all these other worries, doesn't it? Are they actually any good? Will they see the job through? Are we even going to get what we pay for? And of course, how much is this going to cost? These are the exact questions that keep business leaders up at night. It's a huge decision, and it is totally normal to feel that pressure. But the good news is there's a methodical way to get through this. First, we're going to really understand the stakes. Then, and this is key, we'll look at the questions you need to ask yourself. After that, we'll get into how to properly vet a consultant. And finally, we'll talk about how to connect this single hire to your long-term success. Okay, let's start by just framing the problem correctly. Hiring a consultant isn't just another item on your to-do list. It's a critical business decision that can either be a massive accelerator for your growth, or if you get it wrong, it can set you back in a big way. And this is the absolute bottom line. The wrong advisor costs you way more than just their fee. They can tank team morale, waste months of your time, and even send your entire strategy off a cliff. It's a powerful reason why you have to have a structured, thoughtful approach. So how do we avoid that disaster? Well, here's the interesting part. The process doesn't start with a frantic Google search for consultants near me. No, the most important work you'll do happens before you talk to anyone. Finding the right help out there begins with getting crystal clear on what you really need in here. So the very first person you need to question is yourself. What is the actual problem? I mean, get really specific. Why is it a problem right now? What have you already tried that didn't work? The more detail you can dig into here, the better you'll be at finding the right person to help. And this next question, it requires some real honesty. What specific skills are you missing? Be blunt about it. Is it high-level financial modeling? Is it the nitty-gritty of digital marketing? Is it strategic planning? You have to name the exact expertise you need to bring into your business. Once you've got those answers, you're ready to create this super important document, a scope of work. It doesn't have to be a novel. In fact, short and sweet is better, but it has to be clear. It should lay out what you need done, your time frame, and a realistic budget range. This little document becomes your North Star for every single conversation that follows. Okay, you've done the internal work, you've got your scope of work in hand, now you're ready. Now you can move into the next phase, actually vetting potential consultants. You can get all that clarity you've built and use it to find the perfect partner. So what are you looking for? What are the big green flags? Well, first off, you just have to be comfortable with them. It's a gut check. Then, have they done this exact kind of work before? Do they speak plainly, or are they hiding behind a lot of jargon? A real pro will always offer an initial meeting at no charge, and will absolutely follow up with a detailed, written proposal. Now, that proposal is going to talk about money, and you'll probably see one of two models. Time and materials means you're paying for their hours, which puts the risk of the project taking longer right on your shoulders. A fixed price, on the other hand, means the consultant carries that risk. If the scope is clear, a fixed price gives you way more certainty. Here's a question that might feel a little awkward to ask, but trust me, you absolutely have to. What happens if they mess up? What if their advice is negligent and it actually costs your business money? Who's on the hook for that? According to Stephen Wood's guide, the answer shouldn't be vague. It should be a hard number. And that number is at least $2 million. That's the minimum amount of professional indemnity insurance a reputable consultant should have. It's a critical safety net for you and your business. So what is this stuff? Professional indemnity insurance, or PI insurance, is there for one reason: to protect you, the client. If their work is proven negligent and it causes you financial harm, this insurance is what makes you whole. Always, always ask to see a valid, current certificate. It's a total deal breaker if they don't have it. Here's another great sign of a true professional: membership in an organization like the Institute of Management Consultants. Why does this matter? Well, it means they've already passed a tough peer review process, they've had their client references checked, and they're committed to keeping their skills sharp. It's a huge stamp of quality and accountability. Okay, so you've found the right person, you've signed the agreement, now what? Well, this is where we zoom out to the bigger picture. This whole process, it's not just about patching a hole in the short term. It's really about making a strategic investment in your company's future and hitting those big goals you've set for yourself. You know, there's this brilliant quote from Red Adair, the legendary oil well firefighter, that just nails this whole idea. If you think hiring a professional is expensive, wait until you hire an amateur. It's so true. The cost of a mistake is always, always higher than the price of real expertise. And this right here is the ultimate prize. A fantastic consultant helps you escape that daily grind, that feeling of being on a hamster wheel. They help you stop working in your business so you finally have the time and headspace to work on your business. It's a core idea in all of Stephen Wood's work, moving from the rat race to real strategy. So, your path forward is actually pretty simple. Step 1, assess your needs with brutal clarity. Step 2, use this framework we've talked about to choose wisely. And step 3, and this might be the most important of all, take consistent action. Great advice is useless without it. That consistency is what will get you through when things get tough. And remember why this all matters so much. When you achieve your goals, when you build a successful business, you're creating real value that ripples out way beyond yourself. It impacts your team, your customers, your family, your whole community. Your success truly becomes their success too. Which brings us to the final and most important question, one that's just for you. After listening to all this, what's that one part of your business that you know needs this kind of focused attention? What is the very first step you can take, maybe even today, to start building your own roaring success?